You're coming in with two levels of energy and two levels of momentum here. You have Boomie and Remmy who just fought Egg Soup and Pugsy and 3-0'd them. Consequently, you have Egg Soup and Pugsy who have to be feeling on cloud nine after that game that they just had and after that set that they just had against Twilight and Logic. So it's going to be whose level of energy is able to carry them further, who is going to keep the momentum rolling, who's going to keep the train rolling.
I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself here, but this tournament has been a roller coaster of emotions, to say the least, because there have been so many just insane highs. Twilight and Logic got the hammer combo on Jellyfish and Arkosh. Now Boomie, Remmy, they 3-0'd Pugsy and Egg Soup. Pugsy and Egg Soup get the big double gimp onto Twilight. It's just, this has been an insane tournament, and we are going into grand finals. I think everybody is riding high. Pugsy and Egg Soup, will they get the gimps? That's what I think it's going to come down to.
I think that's going to be incredibly tough on Boomie and Remmy right now. I think Boomie and Remmy are the team to beat in North America. We saw Remmy play with LDZ at one time. I forgot who Boomie played with in that tournament. If I remember correctly, he didn't play in that tournament. And now they've found their way back to each other. I know Boomie and Remmy are friends. They play a ton of games together. They're always scrimming. I always see them on Discord looking for one another, trying to scrim 1v1s, trying to queue 2v2s. And I think Boomie and Remmy right now, they just have everything in their favor.
I mean, Boomie he's number one on the ranked leaderboard for a reason right now, or at least he's definitely number one in US East on the ranked leaderboard. He's just showing his absolute dominance in this game, showing that he is strong in the 1v1 as well as the 2v2, and he's just got great synergy with Remmy. They play all sorts of games together. They are friends to the end, and that synergy is working out for them as they get the black hole onto Pugsy.
And Egg came in with that ground pound. He was able to save Pugsy from death. But
Everyone's
Egg
dying.
is gonna fall, and then Remmy is gonna fall, and there are just bodies everywhere. There is death everywhere, and this volatile game. I can't think of 4 people who are just more volatile than Egg Soup, Pugsy, Boomie, and Remmy in terms of aggression, in terms of pressure, and in terms of just turnaround, quick, crazy things happening.
They are just all over the map in terms of just sheer insanity. There has not been a moment of reprieve for either of the teams. Nobody's been like, okay, we pushed off, we're gonna disengage, we're gonna go to the other side. Nobody's been knocked off the map and just like waiting on the edge. Instead, it's just been constant damage, one side or the other. One person dies, another person dies. Pugsy somehow ends up dominating Boomie and Remmy.
And I say that Boomie and Remmy are the team to beat in North America. Pugsy and Egg Soup have 4 stocks now to Boomie and Remy's 2. This is looking like last set.
Don't discount them yet, though. We saw what happened. If Egg Soup gets taken, they're just.
Boomie, stop! Okay. You're behind.
They just kept doing it. They just kept doing it. He wanted it. He doesn't care. He wanted it. They've got a set to burn. If he wants to have a little bit of fun, I guess. Remmy gets taken down. I was gonna say, if Boomie and Remmy can take down Egg Soup and get the 2v1, we saw what happened when they had the 2v1 on Pugsy. They just got 2 quick black holes. Pugsy gonna help him out a little bit, but at the end of the day, Boomie's the one who's got to worry about the black holes.
Boomie is playing really, really deep on that side. The gimp potential is not huge right now. Pugsy knows how to recover.
Oh, that'll do it.
Almost fresh on his stock, and that's gonna happen. Boomie was in the red. It wouldn't take much, or sorry, Boomie was in the orange to red. It wouldn't take him much to be killed at that point, but it was going to take a lot to kill Pugsy at that point. You're not going to get Pugsy that low when he has all his jumps and he's just barely yellow. Pugsy is somebody who knows how to recover. He knows how to gimp, so he knows how people get gimped. He knows how to play around it, and you're not going to get that turnaround big play against someone like Pugsy.
And Boomie is going to be switching to Azoth here in game 2 of this grand finals set. This is an interesting pick, to say the least.
I honestly, like, I love Azoth, and I love it when people pick Azoth in tournaments. I think he is a great character. I think he is very underrated.
And King's Pass?
And King's Pass.
And King's Pass?
There is still black hole potential for Pugsyxd and eggsoup. Those platforms are still reasonably large. But maybe Boomie and Remmy. I don't know what Boomie's going for here.
The critical thing to me is the horizontal kill box. eggsoup, we saw that side sig killing in orange on I think it was Mammoth or something like that. The side kill boxes on King's Pass are relatively small. They will surprise you how small they are. And if eggsoup is sticking with these gauntlets, gets a nice side sig on the edge of one of the platforms, you're gonna see people dying in yellow, red. Pugsyxd gets the neutral sig to take down both players, his teammate and the opponent.
We haven't actually been seeing Egg hit a lot of signatures towards the end of this tournament, though. We saw him throwing out a lot of them in the beginning. We saw him do a gravity cancel sword down sig. We saw him just completely fishing for side sigs. We haven't seen a lot of them lately, though. In the past few handful of sets, we really haven't seen them.
It's mostly been the gauntlet neutral sig, which is, I mean, it's not my favorite neutral. It's not my favorite gauntlet sig, but at the end of the day, I guess if it works, don't fix it. Or whatever the phrase is. You know what I'm talking about. Remmy gets a side air onto Pugsyxd. Pugsyxd's going to try to recover back. Boomie not able to get the gimp with that bow play.
Oh, and Boomie went for that turnaround neutral sig. That's the only thing that I could see him hoping for with this Azoth is just the dynamic, I don't want to call it signature spam, but you know what I mean. Dynamic signature spam, the neutral sigs, the side sigs. He loves the down sig. And especially with that axe, if there's even a little bit of space, chase with that bow side or axe side sig.
But he hasn't been able to get the big bow gimps. We've seen him fight on the side of that right wall multiple times and just not connecting with those Sares or those dares onto his opponents. They're both in the red at this point. Boomie just needs a ground pound. That'll do it. Pugsyxd is in the red, so is Boomie.
That was a great ground pound from Boomie there. He stayed almost right on top of Remmy because he knew that there was going to be a follow-up onto Remmy. So he stayed right above, and when he went in for the punish, he was there with the ground pound.
Follow play from Boomie, keeping him alive as he gets taken down. Stocks are basically even. Health basically even. Remmy gets ground pounded on, and eggsoup with the follow-up. Boomie wants to help his teammate out, and it worked! It worked!
I didn't think he was going to get it!
Remmy
I didn't think it was going to be a good angle for that ground pound, but Boomie, the savior!
I thought he messed up. When he bumped Remy's head against the platform, I thought he messed up. But it was enough. It gave his teammate the jump. It gave his teammate time to dodge back up. Remmy survives. We're still in it. We're still even.
Great positioning from Boomie and a cool head from Remmy. He didn't panic on the head bonk. He just kept his cool and he was able to get back. I honestly can't believe that just happened. I thought he was for sure dead, and I was going to say, that was a nice try, Boomie. And this is just like that. The game has turned around. It is dead even. This is a 1v1.
But it's Boomie on an unarguably off character with this Azoth versus Pugsyxd going to his mainstay, that Bodvar. You've got to just give a little bit of character advantage to Pugsyxd just on sheer comfortability.
And you can see how much Boomie is attacking. Those lower bow recovery times are really coming into play here. Boomie is looking to throw so many attacks out. And Pugsyxd, I don't know if he saw that coming or if he was just disengaging completely, but he got out of that ground pound just early enough.
Those active frames of the side sig could have caught Pugsyxd if he disengaged a little bit too late. But at the same time, Pugsyxd, he's doing a great job of more or less just kind of tapping Boomie and then moving away. Getting those little love taps of damage are enough that he's got the health advantage. But Boomie, he's got juggle potential. Nice ground pound from Pugsyxd. And that'll do it.
There's another game for eggsoup and Pugsyxd. And that was much different than game one. There was a lot less destruction there. That was a much more even game. When they started the 1v1 at the end, they were dead even in health. Absolutely dead even.
That was close, to say the least. At any point, Boomie had potential to have caught Pugsyxd up, caught him with a nair, and potentially juggled him. But at the end of the day, Pugsyxd was able to clean it up, got a nice side air on to Boomie, and we're going into game 3. Pugsyxd and eggsoup, one game away from getting the hot reset in the grand finals.
And now Boomie is coming in. He is immediately with that axe. I would beg to maybe differ on the ending of that last game if Boomie had that axe. I'm not saying he would have won it for sure. I think we would have seen a little bit more of an even damage spread between the two if he had that axe instead of the bow.
I got to agree with you. I think Boomie's... Oh, nice slide charge side stick off the soft platform. But I got to say, I think Boomie's axe play is a little bit stronger. We didn't see a lot of edge play from the axe, or from the bow, which is usually what we tend to see on bow players.
And now we're seeing Boomie with that bow again. He stays
Nice
up
recovery.
in the air. He didn't try to juggle with nairs. He went for that recovery, which actually got its force buffed somewhat recently.
But now he's switching it up to the axe. Did that hit Remmy? I don't think so, because Remmy is in the red. Not going to get taken down just yet. And that side air from Pugsyxd will do it, but the stock advantage is definitely still in Boomie and Remmy's favor, as that recovery will even it up.
That recovery just killed. That wasn't even the second recovery that has more force. That was just the initial recovery that killed.
That was like the last frames of the recovery as well.
And in this game, we're seeing Boomie and Remmy start to pull ahead. Pugsyxd getting pretty low right now. Boomie was starting to look like he wanted to try and hit a Gimp, an edge guard, but with that recovery, he just kind of sent Pugsyxd back up on top of the platform.
Remmy is struggling right now. Gets a ground pound into a recovery high in the sky. That was like some Superman stuff. Pugsyxd gets taken down, but Remmy is getting close to death.
What?
And did he ground pound into Boomie's side stick?
He ground pounded into Boomie's side sig. Remmy, with those ricochet kills, has been doing work today.
Some solid ground pounds. Pugsyxd trying to do the same. Got the ground pound on Remmy, but could not follow up as Remmy picks up the nair. Is not going to get 3-0'd on the reset as Eggsoup can't quite finish off one stock.
And we saw Remmy get another ricochet kill just now.
Oh, the clash!
When he threw that weapon toss, it bounced him off.
Boomie's
and
dead.
he hit the recovery.
Ground
Boomie's dead! But Remmy is right there with the bow ground pound. Boomie and Remmy had 3 stocks left still. And Pugsyxd, the focus on Pugsyxd, he was able to do 282 damage. Egg was able to do 339. How do you go from game 1 to game 2 to that?
Well, we saw in game 2, Remmy had some difficulties. He kind of struggled to really put out a whole lot of damage. Game 3, it looked like he was struggling for a little bit, but then we saw him come out with those big ground pounds and the follow-ups. It ended up setting up into the side sig, and it looks like we are going to reset. Maybe the wrong map? I thought maybe they wanted to go like full mammoth, but it looks like it's not going to be a full mammoth grand finals. Instead, we are going to be resetting.
It's so mind-boggling to me how every game is its own unique thing. We saw eggsoup and Pugsyxd just 3-1 in the lower finals. That's a pretty dominating performance. And before, we saw Remmy and Boomie 3-0 Egg and Pugsyxd. Also a dominating performance. Now we're seeing games that are completely even. We're seeing games that have early, just ridiculous gimps that build such a large lead that is just impossible to come back from. And then we have dominating performances from Remmy and Boomie as well, like we just saw in that previous game. And it's incredible the mindset that these players have to be able to reset themselves and treat every game as if it's new.
It's solid. These guys have a lot of tournament experience. They've been in this position before many a time. They've been in the grand finals of sets. I mean, not only just against each other in rivalcades, but they also do it in 1v1s. They've fought each other just so many times. They know what it feels like to be in this position, and that experience is showing here as every single game is a new game. Every single stock they come back, it's a new game. We've seen them be on their third stock they've been on their final stock, and the opponents have 2 each, and make commanding comebacks. It's just solid mental fortitude on all sides of these players.
And now we're coming in. Boomie's getting that axe again. He put out some serious damage last game with that axe. We'll see if he's able to continue that momentum this game as well. His bow play really kind of stepped it up last game, though. We saw a lot of bow play from both Boomie and Remmy. We didn't necessarily see a lot of early gimps. We didn't see down air gimps. We didn't see sair gimps. But we saw some steady kills. We saw some recovery kills. We saw signature kills. And Remmy actually kind of really stretched out his game and really put in a lot of unarmed. He was able to get kills with unarmed as well. So now we're seeing a much more even game. That's what I was talking about, with each game being extremely unique. Nobody's really ahead right now. The health is almost completely even. Boomie's going to get the first kill. If they can turn around and get this quick kill on Egg as well, Remmy's there with the side signature from Koji getting that kill. There's a little bit of a lead. Boomie and Remmy are both kind of orange. Boomie's getting into the red. Boomie's coming in to help his teammate. That is the synergy and friendship between Boomie and Remmy coming into play. That is what the top tier 2v2 teams have that others just don't. It's the wherewithal to disengage from your opponent, come to help your teammate, even if that means hitting them to give them an extra jump. Maybe it's a weapon toss, maybe it's a recovery from below, maybe it's just being there to put pressure, but Boomie and Remmy have that almost more than anyone else. We're still seeing Remmy able to survive, though. Pugsyxd and eggsoup having a little bit of a tough time killing him. That's what eggsoup kind of really struggled with in the US East Regional Qualifier, was killing. He was able to put out a ton of damage, but he was struggling in the kill department. Luckily, he has Pugsyxd now, and Boomie's on his last stock. Remmy's fresh on his second, but Boomie is in his last stock. There needs to be some kills coming into Pugsyxd and eggsoup.
Oh, good startup with that nair, but Boomie not able to follow up just in time. He knows it. He's got the axe. Axe has a little bit more kill potential. You know, he's got those sairs, those recoveries, but you need to connect with it, and you've also got to be careful because obviously Boomie recognizes that he's on his last stock and does not want to get taken down.
Boomie's actually done a great job of putting out a ton of damage. Both Pugsyxd and eggsoup have gone from orange into red, and Boomie has barely been touched.
Switching it up to the bow, that dare onto his teammate, not gonna help out. That nair, not enough. Pugsyxd gets a big nair to finish off Remmy, and needs to finish off the stock of eggsoup ASAP. Get them down to their last stocks as well. Down sig for Remmy, will do it for Pugsyxd. Air, that'll do it. Stocks have been evened up. Boomie is in the yellow. If he can not take too much damage, it won't be too terrible of a spot.
I want to think that the dare from Boomie when he hit Remmy in the red was to send Remmy to the other side of the stage to try and prevent the eggsoup edge guard. The thing is, though, that Pugsyxd was there to rotate, and he was there to confirm the kill.
It's all about the follow-ups and the synergy and just the saves as Boomie goes low, but Remmy doesn't even have to save him. Boomie still had a lot of options. He's trying to give room for Remmy. Remmy able to get room himself with that recovery, but it's just are looking dire for the blue team as Remmy gets caught by the dare. Another dare. Boomie now has to do the 1v2.
Are we gonna see this 3-1 bracket reset for Pugsyxd and eggsoup? We are going to see the 3-1 bracket reset for Pugsyxd and eggsoup. Keep in mind, the last time they fought, they got 3-0'd by Boomie and Remmy.
Well, it looks like there's not going to be a 3-0 this time for Boomie and Remmy, as they just got 3-1'd by eggsoup and Pugsyxd. I like that Pugsyxd isn't messing around with the Sasuri anymore. He's like, all right, I'll play Bodvar. eggsoup has been doing a great job with his Val. Boomie's been switching it up. He switched to the Azoth, and it looks like right now Remmy might be switching it up as he is changing his skin. That's its own type of switch, right?
Remmy scared me for a moment, because I don't think he has much in the tank beyond the Koji.
Rolling.
Remmy?
Rolling.
Remmy's rolling is...
Rolling. What? Rolling. Come on.
I think that other than like the meme that Limp Bizkit is, 80% of the audience is too young to know what that means.
Now I know y'all be loving this right here. Remmy is gonna be sticking with the Koji. No rolling switch, not yet at least. Boomie is sticking with his Azoth, and Remmy gets a nice downlight onto both opponents.
Boomie, his play has been, it's been steady, it's been consistent, but in these past few games, it hasn't been as explosive and it hasn't been as effective as he was before. We saw him catch down signatures a lot more. We saw him catch side signatures on that bow a lot more, and we're kind of not seeing him catch them. We're seeing him throw them out, but he's not hitting them.
And we're seeing more signatures getting thrown out. There's a nice side sig from Remmy. Oh, side sig from eggsoup, answers back. Not enough to finish off the stock for Boomie, though. That was
nice
a
weapon toss into a nair. Taking a page out of Remy's book, the bounces and the ricochets, sending them off the main platform into the sky so you can follow up with an upwards aerial attack. That's been the calling card of Boomie and Remmy so far.
It's just showing how much damage is getting put out, though, on every single side, that you can't finish with your standard finishes. You can't finish with a downlight Sarah or anything like that. Instead, you have to go for these kind of wonky bounce pass into kill combos.
Remmy still being the one to stay alive. Boomie tends to be the one to die first. Boomie taking him out, but with that signature putting a decent amount of damage onto Pugsyxd. Pugsyxd getting very low on his second stock.
That side air will do it. I was gonna say the side sig would have been worth if it had taken down Pugsyxd with it, but at the end of the day, he still ended up cleaning up the stock. Is gonna keep his team alive. A stock advantage if they can finish, or well, they have the stock advantage, but if they can finish off this eggsoup kill, it'll be even more of an advantage. Not yet. No falling nairs for Remmy. Interesting option.
The unarmed Sarah from the right side of the stage still isn't going to kill eggsoup yet. He does have that higher defense that's just really going to keep him into the game. He's really going to exploit that and extend his stocks as far as he possibly can.
And I'm not sure if Boomie registered that he didn't have a standard black hole weapon there, as Remmy got a neutralite and Boomie threw out a neutralite, but it was with bow, which, you know, it doesn't work that way.
That's not going to help you with black holes there.
Well, right side, Pugsyxd gets a nice side air to finish off Remmy. Stocks have been evened up once again between these players. They're just dead even.
And then hammer recovery from Pugsyxd.
Got the touch.
He ledge canceled the breakdance unarmed down sig. I'm pretty sure he was trying to follow up with a ground pound. It was an accidental ledge cancel.
That's got to be heartbreaking. Boomie is going to survive thanks to the safety net of that soft platform, giving Pugsyxd the ledge cancel. Bomb toss! Remmy spot dodged it and almost got caught by it. eggsoup gets a nice downlight cider. Not going to finish off Boomie. Remmy's going to put pressure out to make it so eggsoup cannot get the edge card onto Boomie.
And even with that pressure from Remmy, Boomie disarmed himself by throwing that bow to eliminate like a really, really high ground pound coming out from eggsoup. There were edgeguard denials on both fronts. I don't actually know what just happened to Boomie, though.
I don't know. Remmy wanted to go into position. You saw him kind of start moving his way down there. I'm surprised Boomie didn't just kind of spam down air. Sure, there's cooldown, but at the same time, it gives horizontal movement. But I guess he didn't fully get his touches back before he got knocked to the right side.
And now we're seeing Eggsoup's sword against Remmy's sword. Koji against Val. Both players in the red right now. I think Remmy is more red. A downlight Sair would probably kill him. I don't think a downlight Sair would kill Egg at this point. There's the Sair from on the main platform. And Eggsoup and Pugsyxd take another game from Boomie and Remmy. I want to see Boomie switch up the legends here.
There's the switch. He's going to Barraza. Says, I'm going to just be a little bit more of a tanky beef castle. Sticking with that axe. He had some solid success with that Azoth axe, and now he's got guns. And we've seen what Pugsyxd can do with Barraza and guns in a very safe and spacey kind of way.
I love Boomie's guns. I will put Boomie's guns over all day. He plays them with more variation than most other people. I absolutely love the way he pushes guns kit and uses all of the gun moves all of the time. There is always a situation where he can find a favorable gun move. He doesn't just fish for dares. He doesn't just jump Sair like Memoria. And it's just, he's able to use all the moves everywhere. And I absolutely love that variation, and that's why fighting Boomie's guns is so difficult.
Unfortunately for him, he doesn't have guns. He's got unarmed. He had the axe for a little bit, but he disarmed himself. Instead, wanted to go unarmed onto Pugsyxd. Now that Pugsyxd's disarmed and Boomie's got the guns, are we going to start seeing him go back to the edge guard?
I expect to see a lot of recoveries out of Boomie. We've already seen 2, but Boomie is one of those people that really preaches. That just, okay. He's going to side sig Boomie under the stage, just kind of giving him a free recovery.
And eggsoup cleans up the stock with a huge ground pound on the right side. Remmy is going to completely respect his opponents, go to the far side, not even risk any sort of black holes.
And Boomie was kind of leaving Remmy to fight the 2v1 there for a minute. He was kind of hanging out on the wall. I think he expected someone to come edge guard him, but both members, Boomie and Remmy, have died. They finally picked up the kill onto Pugsyxd.
They've still got to take down this stock of eggsoup, though. Eggsoup has been he's just been extending his stock so much. Boomie might have the most defense in the game, but eggsoup just has the most survivability.
He's able to tank those hits. He's able to dodge the big hits. He's able to recover back in an unpredictable way. He has Pugsyxd there to help him, to put pressure on, to save him at times. And it's not even just Egg at that point. It's also help from Pugsyxd as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's solid team synergy overall. Pugsyxd able to position himself to not only relieve pressure for eggsoup, but as well as, you know, go down, get him with a sword recovery to continue that stock. Nice side stick from eggsoup. Nice dare from Pugsyxd to take down Remmy. Eggsoup gets the dare, and he's in position in case Pugsyxd couldn't recover.
And there is another set of kills. Right now, they're trading 1 stock of Pugsyxd for 2 stocks of Boomie and Remmy. Boomie and Remmy are on their final stock. Egg finally dying. Pugsyxd managing to stay safe, stay alive, and stay on a second stock.
Pugsyxd is the closest one to dead, but Remmy and Boomie not even going for it. Instead, they're trying to focus down eggsoup a little bit. You're seeing Remmy mostly just try to zone out Pugsyxd and then go for the 1v2 onto Ed.
We're actually not seeing a lot of success from Boomie's guns here. I don't know if it's just because this is in the 2v2 space and he doesn't have the room to play around like he does in 1v1, but we're not seeing a lot of success with his guns, and I wouldn't be surprised if we saw lower damage numbers from him at the end of the game.
It could just be something as simple as he didn't have the warm-up time with the guns. You know, he's been playing Bodvar and Azoth. Neither of them have guns. He had some time to practice with that axe when he was playing that Azoth, but at the end of the day, it takes a little bit of time to get used to the different weapon sets. Nice ground pound from Pugsyxd.
Red team wins.
And that's another game for eggsoup and Pugsyxd. The egg train keeps on rolling. The pug train keeps on rolling. And looking
They
at...
rolling?
No.
They rolling?
You don't have to sing it again. You don't have to
It's
sing it
okay,
again.
because Remmy hasn't picked it yet. He is going to be sticking with that Koji. Boomie goes back to the Bodvar, recognizes he didn't really have the success with the Azoth. And like you were saying, the egg and pug train is just pushing forward. They've got so much momentum now. They are essentially getting the run back.
And this is basically the tournament point. If eggsoup and Pugsyxd win this game, they 3-1'd Boomie and Remmy, and then 3-0'd Boomie and Remmy after getting 3-0'd themselves. The turnaround.
The first set was a bait.
The turnaround from eggsoup and Pugsyxd with pretty much the same thing. It's not even like they changed up characters, or Boomie and Remmy changed up characters, or anything like that. The only really new thing we've seen from Boomie and Remmy is Boomie's Barraza now. And Pugsyxd and eggsoup have just been able to adapt, and they've been able to do just the catch-up game so much better than Boomie and Remmy have.
But we're seeing Boomie, now that he's switched back to the Bodvar, in the same way that Pugsyxd is just a little bit more comfortable with that Bodvar, Boomie showing some success with this hammer play. Not enough to finish off Pugsyxd, but enough to send Pugsyxd deep into the red, and he's going to try to get the edge guard onto eggsoup. Ground pound. No, not enough.
And he was looking for a Nair follow-up. That surprises me a little bit over the recovery, because he was down on that platform. Finally hits the Nair with the sword elevated in the air. It's enough to kill Pugsyxd. But they have to kill this eggsoup. That has been the story for Pugsyxd and Egg. Yeah, they get the stock from Pugsyxd, but eggsoup was able to survive, and he's finally died now. Boomie and Remmy looking pretty good. Boomie getting into the orange, Remmy in the yellow. Remmy's survivability has just been really, really strong today.
Yeah, I think earlier on he had a little bit of trouble with that survivability. Pugsyxd gets a nice ground pound onto Boomie. But now that Remy's kind of recognized that, hey, I keep getting taken down a little bit too early and leaving Boomie in that 1v2, he's cleaned up his movement to make sure that he's playing safely, playing a little bit more aerially to avoid any big black hole potentials. And it's extending the stocks for him.
And Remy's ability to go from off the top of the screen safely back down to the platform without being touched has been phenomenal today. I completely admire that, and you have to respect the way when there are two enemies down below wanting to juggle you and kill you off the top. If you're able to dodge around them, use your dodge at the right time, use your momentum at the right time, and your movability at the right time to get back without being touched.
It's just impeccable needle threading from Remmy. Fantastic movement. We saw him use that dare to completely redirect that groundward movement, but still make his way back down to the ground, where there's a little bit more safety against well, you got more jumps. This is essentially the safety net. But we're seeing Boomie and Remmy. They've got the stock advantage now. Eggsoup is in the orange again, but it's Eggsoup. He's been extending stocks for so long.
And he's the one that I guess they're focusing right now. He has the most damage on him. If they can get this egg kill, then Pugsyxd, the one who's been the easier kills before, that could be the game right there.
Oh, and Pugsyxd not. He used all of his options, just barely got to the wall, and Boomie not able to catch him with that down sig. Both Pugsyxd and eggsoup are so insanely close to dead. That recovery is not enough. Dive without a neutralite to punish the gravity cancel side sig, and he gets a nair to finish off Pugsyxd. eggsoup is still alive, but it's a 1v2 against Boomie and Remmy. He might have just taken down Remmy, but he's so...
It's going to take more than a downlight stare to kill Boomie at this point. He is in kill percent, but that is Val. Val with that 4 force. It's going to take more than nothing to kill Boomie right now.
Oh, that was a big nair from Boomie, but I liked how eggsoup was playing that. He wasn't just tunnel visioning onto Remmy to try to get a big gimp and get the 1v1 against Boomie. Instead, he catches the dare onto Remmy and then looks up to fight off Boomie. He's not just going for the 1v1. He's going for 1v1 and then he'll turn around and go for the other 1v1 and back and forth.
And Pugsyxd, like last game, Boomie's Barraza put out, I think it was like 339 damage. This game, Pugsyxd's Bodvar only put out about 382 damage, and there wasn't any slack pickup from the other teammate. I want to see focus from Boomie and Remmy. I want to see them focus Pugsyxd down, especially on this Asuri pick. Pugsyxd.
It seems like Pugsyxd, when he doesn't have success with one, he tries to alternate to the other. He didn't really have success that game just there with that Bodvar. So now he's mixing it up. He wants to go to the Asuri, just kind of mix up what his options are. He's still got that sword play, and I'd like to see him just kind of stick with the sword play. His guitar play hasn't really been successful, but his sword play is pretty strong. I'd like to see him just stick with it, and he might have a chance. He hasn't taken too much damage.
But the second he gets those Katars, he's ready to initiate, and he wants to initiate. He's not going to play passively or slow or defensively at that point. He just initiates and then takes so much damage just because he doesn't have the hitbox advantage. He doesn't have the range advantage. He may have frame advantage, but he doesn't have range advantage.
Well, he's sticking with the sword right now. As long as he doesn't get disarmed, he won't get stuck on the guitar. It will be his next weapon pickup. Goes for a gravity cancel neutral stick, but Boomie with that nair is going to disarm Pugsyxd, and now Pugsyxd's got to be in a little bit of a troublesome spot. He's got to clear this guitar pickup and then throw it away and switch to the sword. Got the guitars, though. Gets caught by the neutral sig, and that will take him down. First stock going the way of Boomie and Remmy.
And with the 50-50 weapon pickup now, you're guaranteed the opposite weapon on the next weapon you pick up. So you don't have the RNG that could sometimes work out in your favor. You also don't have it working against you, but when he throws down a sword that he just picked up, he's going to be forced into Katars.
We're seeing he's not going to weapon deny. He's not going to try to starve the map. Instead, he's just going to try to punish the pickup from Boomie. But Remmy is still on his first stock. Might be the lowest defense character in the game, or sorry, on the screen. But at the same time, he's just doing a great job extending these stocks, positioning himself where side air has to send him as far as possible off the map. But that down air from Boomie is going to take him down.
Boomie's looking for the edge guard on eggsoup, who just falls.
Is that an overcommitment from eggsoup?
That
Ends up
was-
ground pounding?
That was an overcommitment from eggsoup there, who's going to fall with virtually no edge guard from Boomie. And with Remmy coming fresh in on his second stock, that is a big lead for Boomie and Remmy.
Boomie is in the red, but they've got the stock advantage. They just need to push this forward, and then we might be seeing a game 5 for Boomie and Remmy after the reset. Yeah.
How ridiculous is it to see a game 5 in this set after a 3-0, a 3-1, and a 3-0?
Well, I'll tell you how ridiculous it is in just a little bit, because this is looking like a best of 5 going to game 5. Eggsoup might be in the red. If they can take down Eggsoup, it will be almost a guaranteed game 5. But it is eggsoup once again. He has been immaculate on extending these stocks, almost as immaculate as Remmy.
Remy's still staying alive. eggsoup getting very dangerously low. eggsoup hitting that signature from the right side of the stage, sending Remmy to the left. And that
Boomie.
hammer recovery. Boomie didn't need that. There's the second time he's killed Remmy.
All of Remy's deaths so far have been Boomie on hammer.
One of them was a dare. One of them was a recovery. Both sides straight up and straight down.
And eggsoup is still alive. He is he's been in the red for quite a while now, and just no kill combos coming out. Boomie got a nice down light, couldn't pick up the nair.
We're seeing Boomie fish for those nairs, though. He wants to kill off the top. He's even trying to gravity cancel a down light so he can go into a nair.
The simple fact that eggsoup has extended this stock for so long, it's keeping his team alive. But the double? No, Pugsyxd gets passed as eggsoup gets taken down, and the recovery from Remmy will clean it up. We're going to a game 5 after the reset, after the 3-0s. This is game 5 of grand finals of this BCS 2v2, and it is absurd that we are at this point.
That's the second time today that, like, the final frames of a sword recovery have killed. That's ridiculous. You
No,
should
they
never
nerfed
get
it.
to that point. That is not just necessarily kill inefficiency, but that's just, I don't know what to call it, I guess stock efficiency of keeping yourself in a position to where you will not die. If you're on the right side of the platform, make sure your opponent is to the right of you, so they have to hit you all the way across the stage and all the way to the left kill box. It's keeping yourself, if your opponent is below you, it's making sure that they're very low, so if they hit a nair, that it's going to make you go very, very high, all the way above the stage, all the way into the airspace, all the way into that kill box. And that's just positioning, not only for kills, but positioning to prevent your own deaths.
Solid positioning. Mostly, I'm noticing it more out of Remmy and eggsoup, just being able to position in ways where the general kills are you've got to just go max potential on those kills. But we're seeing everybody is already making their way into the red. Boomie's in the red. Pugsyxd's in the red. Boomie gets a stomp side air. Pugsyxd's not dead. eggsoup gets a nice punish onto Boomie, and the ground pound from Boomie. He still wanted that kill. He went deep for it.
Great follow-up there. He completely laser-honed his sights in on that kill. He followed it down. He didn't even worry about getting back to the main platform, getting safe. He just wanted the kill.
And that was, I mean, that was stylish from Boomie and Remmy to go for a mini black hole onto Pugsyxd. eggsoup thought Boomie was gonna still try to 1v1 him, as he was the one with the most damage on him. So he went for a side sig, reading the dodge through, but Boomie just turned around, neutralized Pugsyxd for a little bit, and as eggsoup's coming back, he gets a side sig to finish off eggsoup. But eggsoup gets a nice little unofficial double, takes down Boomie and Remmy, and the stocks have been evened up.
Now, I'm not saying black holes are a bait for your other opponent to come in and then you turn around and hit them with a signature, but I'm not saying that's not what happened.
No, if I mean, it makes sense, right? You don't want to let your teammate get caught in that black hole, so you do what you can to try to interrupt it. Especially if you're unarmed, your only option is to kind of get in there and try to hit the opponents out of it. But if your opponent's got the presence of mind, got the attention span, turns around and side sigs you, that is troublesome.
And that's the thing, you get a kill on the opponent who wasn't caught in, who was in the red. and you get the damage on the opponent who was caught in the black hole. So that's not a free 2 kills, but it's probably at least 1.5, 1 and 3/4, 1 and 2/3.
It's a win-win on the black hole player's side. If the opponent doesn't try to interrupt, you keep putting the black hole out. If the opponent does try to interrupt, you turn around, side sig them, throw them off the map, end up going back to the black hole if that doesn't work out. But at the end of the day, worst case scenario, you're getting a lot of damage out of it.
And nobody expects the premature black hole cancellation. Nobody expects that. You expect everyone to tunnel vision and extend the black hole as long as you possibly can. And Egg, we were talking about how he was able to extend his stocks for so long. We talked about it with Remmy too. Remmy kept it up, but eggsoup is the first to die here. And this is game 5 of the reset. This is literally do or die for Pugsyxd right here.
Pugsyxd, at this point, he can't tunnel vision onto Remmy, despite the fact that Remmy is the one in the red. Pugsyxd's got to be careful. That is death. Pugsyxd's done. There is no way he can come back. Boomie and Remmy have done it. They've still got stocks in their name, despite the fact that Remmy just SD'd there. It is all over after the reset, after the 3-1, after the 3-0. Boomie and Remmy win it out in the grand finals of the 2v2 for NA.
Boomie and Remmy have solidified themselves very much as the top 2v2 team in North America. There was the time when Pugsyxd and eggsoup were both out of town, so some people chalked that tournament up to, oh, well, the best players are out of town. This one doesn't necessarily count. Okay, so then Boomie and Remmy came in and won the Rivalcade 2v2, beating out Pugsyxd and eggsoup. They have now come in a second tournament. They 3-0'd Pugsyxd and eggsoup in winners finals, and off to a shaky start, but eventually came back and won the grand finals again against Pugsyxd and eggsoup. Nobody can deny Boomie and Remy's position in the 2v2 space.
They are absolute monsters in this 2v2 setting. They are the dominant force of the 2v2 scene. Boomie and Remmy have won it out over Pugsyxd and eggsoup once again in the 2v2, and they are going to be continuing on to the next NA 2v2. But before that, there is a lot of other 2v2s and 1v1s in between. Next up is going to be an EU 2v2.
I actually can't wait to see that. I wonder if the roster is going to be as ridiculously constantly changing as North America is.
I mean, it was insane. I mean, we saw some old mainstays, right? We saw the Boomie, the Boomie Remmy combo, saw the Jellyfish Arcaj combo, but we also saw some mix-ups, right? We saw Twilight and Stevenator no longer together. Instead, Steve went up with Magma Bob. Twilight and Logic ended up going in, and they ended up getting pretty far in the bracket, ended up 3rd place. There was some mix-ups that we weren't quite expecting, at least.
And that's the thing that's so interesting about 2v2, and I'm so glad we're able to bring 2v2 to you on a somewhat weekly basis now, because the roster changes of it, the play style of 2v2, the way people understand 2v2 is just constantly changing. There is no constant but change here in the 2v2 setting.
Well, with that, once again, I want to congratulate Boomie and Remmy for taking it out in 1st place. Congratulations to Pugsyxd and eggsoup for getting 2nd place, and congratulations to Twilight and Logic. I almost put their names together. Twilight and Logic for getting the solid 3rd place. And once again, we'd like to thank everybody who helped us out today. We want to thank Sloshula and White Cheapy behind the scenes. We also want to thank Foda as well as El Loco Doco. We also want to give a huge shout out to BMG for making this fantastic game and helping to fund the tournament and putting us up on their Twitch channel. I am Duke Designated Asian, and with me, as always, is
Sparky878.
Thank you guys for watching. You got anything else you want to say?
We'll see you later.
Bye.